Okay, so let's go ahead and do the answers to the review now. Hopefully you've done it on your own. If not, please pause the video and go do this. Go do this on your own so you see what you know, and then watch me. Okay, I'm going to go through how to do all of it. Okay, so if I'm going to name it by degrees, I have to look at the exponents. So this has a degree of 2, 1, and 0. My highest degree is 2. Therefore, it is a quadratic. I have 1, 2, 3 terms, so it's a trinomial. Here, I have a power of 0, so that is a constant. I think I forgot to mention that in the review before. If it has a power of 0, it's a constant. One term is a monomial. Here, my powers are 3, 2, 1, and 0. My highest power is 3, so this is a cubic. And the number of terms, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So anything above 3 is just a polynomial. So 4 terms are above are a polynomial. Here I have a power of 1, that's a linear. I have 2 terms, so it's a binomial. Okay. Moving on, we're going to add and subtract polynomials. Here I notice that I have addition, so I'm going to add. And when I add, I'm going to just combine like terms. I'm going to start with my highest power. My highest power is a 5. So I have a negative 7 and a positive 5. That's a negative 2x to the 5th. My next power is a power of 4. I only have one power of 4. My next power, I have a negative 2x and a positive 7x. Negative 2, positive 7, positive x. Then I have a 14. Nothing to combine it with. I just stick it on there. That is my answer. Okay, I'm still on addition. So I'm going to, again, look at my exponents, and I'm going to combine like terms. I always like to start with the highest power, then it is in standard form. To begin with, if I start with the highest power, my highest power is 3, so I have negative 3p to the 3rd. I then have a 5p squared and a 2p squared. They're both positive, so 7p squared, and then minus 3. That is my answer. Good. Number 7, I have subtraction. Okay, on subtraction, I have to remember that I'm subtracting everything. Me personally, I'm going to go through and change the signs. Okay, if you don't want to do that, that is fine. I'm going to change addition, subtraction to addition, and everything to its opposite. Oh, wow, look at that. Now I'm going to combine like terms. My highest power is a 5. I'm going to combine those two. Negative 6 and a positive 8 is a positive 2 n to the 5th. And if you don't change your signs, you will still come up with the same answer. So you will still come up with the same answer, even if you don't change the sign. I have a negative 8 and a positive 6 n to the 4th. That's a negative 2 n to the 4th. I have a 3n. No other 3n's. No other n's. So that just comes down, and then I have a 3. And that is my answer. Okay? Moving on to perimeter. As I talked about before, perimeter, you're going to add all the sides. It talks about a rectangle. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a rectangle on here. And it says the side lengths are 6g minus 8 and 3g plus 2. And it does not matter where you put them. Now, what I'm also going to do is I'm going to put all of them on there. Because perimeter, I have to add all the sides, not just 2 of them. Okay, I'm adding all the sides. Perimeter, add all the sides. And to tell you the truth, I would just add them here. So I have 6 plus 6 is 12g. 3 plus 3, that's 6g. Sorry, so 12g, 6g, that gives me 18g. Then I have negative 8 and negative 8. That's negative 16. 2 plus 2 is 4. That gives me negative 12. So my answer is 18g minus 12. Good. Great. Moving on. Now we're going to multiply. These first ones, pretty much everything is going to be distributive property. It just depends. Do you do it once? Do you do it twice? So I'm going to distribute here. I'm going to take 5g times g to the 6th. That gives me 5. When I multiply, I add my exponents. So g to the 7th. Okay. I'm going to come just a little closer. 5g times 8 is 40g. Whoops. How about we put a 40 on there? So 40. Okay. Here I'm going to distribute. So I get negative 5r to the 4th, negative 25r squared, plus 45r. Done. Here I'm going to distribute twice, or FOIL, whichever one you want to call it. I don't care. This is where you might want to draw those loops in. I'll let you decide. 4x times x is 4x squared. 4x times 5 is 20x. Now I move my finger because that's what I like to use. 5 times x is 5x. 5 times 5 is 25. I have like terms for my middle term, so 4x squared plus 25x plus 25. Number 12, I'm doing the same thing. Oh, did I move that too quickly? Okay, well, you can always pause your video. Okay, n times n is n squared. N times 4 is 4n. Negative 3 times n is negative 3n. Negative 3 times 4. Whoops, I forgot to move my finger. I got so excited, I just kept going. Negative 3 times 4 is negative 12. Combine like terms. Number 13, I'm going to multiply. I'm going to distribute twice. So I'm going to take s times all of those. Oh my gosh, I'm changing mine to x's now because you will be totally confused as to what my numbers are because I have bad handwriting. So I'm taking x. Here, I'll write it over again. X plus 2 times x squared plus 2x minus 1. Okay, just because I have bad handwriting, you're going to get confused as to what I'm doing. Okay, here I go. I'm going to multiply. I'm going to take x times everything. So I get x cubed. 2x, I'm going to run out of space. So I get x cubed, 2x squared minus x. Move my finger over to the 2, 2x squared plus 4x minus 2. Now keep in mind, if this would have been a minus, I would have put my finger right here in front of it so you could see exactly that I'm multiplying by a negative. Okay, now I'm going to combine like terms. Hold on, I'm going to check my work for just because I was going to another thought. Okay, so I just like to check my work sometimes. So now I have an x cubed. That one just comes down. I have a 2x squared and a 2x squared. That's 4x squared. And notice when I add, my exponents do not change. I have a negative x and a positive 4. That's a positive 3x and then minus 2. Okay. Okay, on number 15, I can use the shortcut. The other way I can do it is I can write it out twice. Both are good. Do whatever one you want. Okay. Oops, I don't need 2 parentheses. Okay, so if I'm doing shortcut, I'm going to talk you through the shortcut. I'm going to take the first term and I'm going to square it. And when I square it, I get 16r squared. I'm going to take the first term times the second term times 2. 4r plus 2 is 8r plus times 2 is 16r. 2 squared, squaring the last term is 4. That is my answer. If I multiply it here, I get 16r squared plus 8r plus 8r plus 4, combine like terms, 16r squared plus 16r plus 4. Okay, either way, get the same answer. Here, I can use the shortcut, or I can just distribute them out. If I use the shortcut, I'm going to square the first term. These are difference of squares. See how same terms, opposite signs? So I can square the first term, and I get 36y squared. Square the last terms, I get 9. It's always a minus sign. So that's my answer. If I multiply it out, or if I want to check myself, which I sometimes recommend to do on a quiz if you have the time, multiply, distribute twice, so I get 36y squared plus 18y minus 18y minus 9. My middle terms will add to 0, so I just get 36y squared. Number 17, wow, it's a lot like this one. Change that last number and a minus sign. Okay, so again, you can write it out twice. I'm going to make that an X. If you have good handwriting, you don't need to. I can do the shortcut. Okay, so I'm going to leave that right there. The shortcut again. Don't worry if you don't do the short. I'm going to do the other one first. So I get 16x squared minus 20x. Why do I write it y over there to the side? I have room. So I get 16x squared minus 20x minus 20x plus 25. Combine like terms. Okay. If I'm going to do shortcut, I square the first term. Square the first term. 4 squared is 16x squared. I take the first term, 4x times negative 5. I get a negative 20 times 2. That's a negative 40x. And see when I combine like terms, going to get it right there, negative 40. And then I'm going to take the last term and I'm going to square it. Good. Okay. Number 18. A square garden of length 2y to f plus 2 will have a square rabbit guarded centered inside. Okay, so let's draw this picture. I'm going to have a square. and I'm going to have another one inside it is what it's talking about. The length of this garden is 2f plus 2. It's a square. So that means this side is also 2f plus 2. The length of the guard is f minus 1. Okay? The area of the garden not inside the rabbit guard will have mulch. This is mulch. What is the area of the garden that needs to be mulched? So you're mulch. So you're going to have the shaded area. Remember, for shaded area, you take outside area minus inside area is equal to the shaded area. So where the mulch is what I want to do. So what I like to do is find the outside, find the inside, then put them together. So my outside is going to be 2f plus 2 times 2f plus 2. Hey, wait a second. Or I could write that as 2f plus 2 quantity squared. And I could use a shortcut if I wanted to, or I multiply it out twice. Doesn't make any difference. Okay, if you haven't already done that. Hopefully you have. But when you multiply that outside, I can use my shortcut, or I can distribute here twice. I get 4f squared plus 8f plus 4. Wow, I think we need a few more 4s. Okay, I'm going to find the inside area. Inside area is f minus 1 times f minus 1. Or I could have also written it as f minus 1 quantity squared. So I can use a shortcut on that also. So when I do that, I'm going to get f squared plus, minus 2f plus 1. Okay, now we have to take those and put them together. So I'm going to take the outside, because I take outside minus inside, and I get the shaded. So the outside is 4f squared plus 8f plus 4. That's my outside. I'm going to subtract my inside, which is f squared minus 2f plus 1. And when I subtract, I'm going to change my signs. That's me. If you don't want to, that's fine. Addition, subtract, and I changed all those. So now I can just combine like terms. 4f squared and negative f squared is 3f squared. 8f and 2f is 10f. 4 and negative 1 is, that's an f, is 3. So my answer for my shaded area is 3f squared plus 10f plus 3. Good. So just wanted to give you that. If you have questions, probably at this point, email me and let me know. Hopefully you came to class and we went through it there, but if not, that's fine too. So if you have questions, you know where to find me. Thanks.